what is existence? Is it's a interesting question in some ways. I mean, one of the fundamental questions we can ask is, why does anything exist as opposed to not? And for many people, the way to answer that question is, well, God. God brought everything into existence. Right?
It sounds like Lisbon, the German philosopher.
Leibniz.
His name is so hard.
Exactly. I happen to know a lot about Leibniz, but that was his question, basically, the principle of sufficient reason, why there is something and not nothing. And his answer was, well, there had to be, even in the sense that it's necessary. It could not happen without, that there is a being that is responsible for all of being and for the way that things are, that is, for the nature of things. So the nature of matter, the nature of human being, the nature of the cosmos, all these things were, God is the answer to that, right? Some seek to sort of depersonalize God, which I think, is very interesting, very important, because we tend to think of God in our own terms. We anthropomorphize God.
What does that word mean?
Anthropomorphic means human-shaped.
Okay.
So however we conceive of God, it seems to filter through our own way of thinking of it. So we say things like, God is all-powerful and all wise and all good, all the great things that we are not, just the perfections of our own selves. We sort of project and think that's what God is like. We also readily notice that things are not so well in the world, right? That if God does know best, I think there's more that we can say about what God is doing. And it also seems that, maybe God should tell us something. And the fact that he's not telling us is itself... So I was indicating the sort of general skepticism there is about religion, right? Historically, we've come to a point where there's more skepticism about that. So this is why some existentialists thought that maybe there's another way to conceive of God. And maybe God is just equivalent with what we call existence or being, that things are, right? Thereby we sort of depersonalize, we de-anthropomorphize God. And we put God in a category, well, we don't really understand, but we do know that God is responsible for being. And that in itself is amazing, right? And it's enough to say, whatever it is that religion is telling us, it's telling us that it's putting us in touch with this incredible fact that things are, right? And they might not have been. In view of that, what are we supposed to do with ourselves? How should we live? It's I think, a great philosophy, but there's a lot else.